I'm David Marsh. Welcome to Exploring the Human Journey.
Exploring the Human Journey.
Hi and welcome. I'm so glad you joined us. Today, I'm excited. I've got Cassandra Vanzant on set with me. She is an ET communicator, a channel, a medium, an author, an artist, and so much more. Now, recently, I spent some time with Cassandra, and I want you to watch this great video.
It's always a pleasure to be able to introduce someone to what I do, because I am a psychic, I'm a medium, but I'm also an ET communicator. And that's the part that I want to introduce people to. An ET communicator is someone who actually connects with the star families, with the ETs. I actually speak their language. And then I give the person that I am with a message from their star family. And when I do that, that reconnects them so they can learn about their mission, learn about their purpose. Because we all come here with a mission and a purpose. It could be something grand, or it could be something, that we don't consider big. So when I'm talking to people, I'm connecting them, I'm answering their questions because I channel, I connect with their star family, and then I let them know you are now connected. You can speak with your star family now. When I give the message to people, most of the time they end up crying. It's like, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Then it just brings this emotion. And that's when I know it's like, now you're connected. When we first came here, we all had telepathic communication. After a while, there were some people that wanted to say, don't worry about it. We'll do it for you. We will connect to the source. We'll do that. You don't have to do it. We'll do it. When they start to do that, then what happens to your telepathic abilities? There you go. They get covered up. And then you're being controlled. So how they describe the people in here are the controllers. But they describe the people that came here, originally us, as sparks. So we're sparks off of the source. And wherever it is that we went, if we said we were going to come to this earth plane, if we're going to stay in the heavens, if we're going to go to a different galaxy or wherever, then that's fine. Believe it or not, we're the strongest of the strong. Because of all the learning and everything that we have to do, we're the strongest. And most people think, no, we're so weak, we can't do anything. But we're not, we're strong. The ETs are here not to save us, but to work with us.
Cassandra, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You're amazing, an ET communicator. That's new to me. I am very open to the idea that we're not alone in this great big universe, and there's people such as yourself that you have that sensitivity, that communication. How did you come about this work?
How I came about it was I had a near-death experience.
Oh.
So I died, and when I did that, when I was up on top of the roof of the hospital, it was at night, and I looked up at the stars, and I said, I want to be there. And I was.
Oh.
Instantly. I was in the cosmos.
Wow.
And I'm there in an ethereal body. It's like the outline of Casper. And I'm looking around, and I remember saying, God, where are you? I know I'm dead. And I kept saying that telepathically in my mind. There was no words. It was all in my mind. And I kept saying, where are you? I know I'm dead. And after I was saying that, a door to my left opened. So we're in outer space, and there happens to be a door all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So the door opens, and a man walks out. And he looked like someone in Jesus's time. He had a mid-length robe on, and white hair, and very kindly looking person. And he said, would you mind coming with me for a moment? I said, yes, but remember, I'm dead, and I have to be looking for God.
I've got something to do.
I know. And he said, okay. He says, come on in here for a minute. I said, okay. So I go into the door, and in the door there's a room, and I'm talking to him. He's giving me information. I cannot remember what the information is.
Wow.
But he gave me information, and then he said, here's somebody else you need to speak with. So I walked over, and there was my angel. And this was an angel that you think of now. You know, they have the big wings. They're very tall. They're very beautiful. Yeah. So I walked over to my angel, and the angel spoke to me. Don't remember what they said. And then I looked to behind me, and there was an ET. And people have asked me, what did the ET look like? And the only thing I could remember what the ET looked like was it was like a dark greenish skin, but not like reptilian or anything, but a dark greenish skin, the large eyes, nothing, you know, no armor or anything on, but we just spoke. We had a conversation. I wasn't afraid of any of these beings or the angels or my spirit guide. I wasn't afraid of any of them. But after we were done, I said, okay, now I have to go because I'm dead.
You're still on a mission.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I said, I'm dead and I have to go find God. So the man who I later found out was my spirit guide, he said, all right, off you go.
So he's just being nice. Sure you do.
Yeah. So I left the building, and then I started to look up, and I started to float up. And when I did, I saw an emerald green light, and this light belonged to a tunnel. So this was a tunnel that I thought, I want to go in there because, number one, it was beautiful, and it was on the way. So I go into the emerald green light tunnel, and all I could feel was just enveloped in love. Wow. It was like my whole, I don't want to say body because it was my body, but my whole spirit, my whole being was enveloped.
All encompassing.
It was all encompassing. And then I come out of the green tunnel. When I came out of the green tunnel, then I'm still on a mission, and I'm saying, God, I know I'm dead. Where are you? And I started to look ahead of me, and I saw this very small, brilliant white light. And I started to head toward it. So I get closer and closer, it gets larger and larger, and then I get right to it, and I go inside of it. So I go inside of this light, which I later found out it's the God energy, the God source, because unbeknownst to most people, God is not an old man who sits on a throne. I mean, this is my experience. So this God source, this energy that I was in, I had a conversation with God. You know, and of course, not privy to any of the conversations I had with any of the people that I was with. But the only thing that I remember with God is I had said, can I stay? And as soon as I said, can I stay, I heard these terrible words, but spoken so lovingly, that said, not yet.
You're like, no.
I didn't have time to do that. As soon as I heard not yet, I'm jumping back into my body.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just, boom, right, and it jumped. You know, I was in a room all by myself with a sheet over my head.
Oh, my.
So when I jumped into that body, two things happened. I immediately felt the pain. And then there was a nurse walking by, and she left rather quickly and then came back, and then they took me into the emergency room.
Oh, wow. Because I'm sure she was shocked a little bit.
Hello.
Yeah.
And all I could think of was, can we talk about this? I was in so much pain. I had been in a very traumatic car accident where I had gone through the windshield, came back, and then got lodged underneath the dash.
Oh my.
So I had to be cut out of the vehicle. They could not get to me. I was crushed underneath the dash. And with that comes a lot of injuries. So the minute I woke up, I thought, oh my God, I hurt so bad. I couldn't think of anything else. You know, it was like, can we talk about this? But then it went immediately to all the pain.
Oh, boy.
So they, got me into the ER and sewed me up and sent me home the next day. And then that's when it started happening. So what happened was I came back. You know how people say they come back with gifts?
Yeah.
I came back with telepathic communication, which is mind to mind.
Yep.
I didn't know it. It wasn't something where I just sat there and went, oh my God, look at what I'm doing. I just had these natural conversations with first off, my spirit guide.
Yep. So now you're starting to get and receive and give information.
I am. I'm asking questions and he's giving answers. And, it was very natural.
That's so interesting.
Natural.
I've been studying the near-death experience for 3 years, and that is so common for people to have a near-death experience and then come back and then they have a new perception and that sixth sense, that telepathy.
Oh, yeah, because you come back changed no matter what. No matter if you come back with, amazing psychic abilities or telepathic abilities or whatever, you come back changed because you can't die, come back and not have some kind of a perception change or gift change, if you want to call it like that.
What was your religious context? Were you expecting, a single being deity that you had to go before? Was there a judgment in your mind or anything?
No, there wasn't a judgment. I was 29 when that happened. It wasn't a judgment. There wasn't like, oh my God, I wish I would have lived a better life. There was,
because I was given that narrative. I've been like, I hope I lived a good life. That's why I'm asking you.
No, I didn't have that. I just knew I'm dead. My body's back in the hospital where I left it. I floated above it and looked at it and went, and just kept going.
And you didn't feel that attachment. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, a lot of people will relay a near death and say, they're like, oh, wow, isn't that interesting? There's my body. And then they'll just keep moving.
Right, because you're so free when you leave the body. You're so free and nothing is impossible. I went through different floors of the hospital. That's so amazing. I'd go through it, I'd see wires and concrete and everything, and I'd come out and I'd be on one floor and then I'd keep going. Nothing was impossible. And just looking up to the sky and saying, I want to be there. And I was.
And at the power of thought, boom, you were there.
I was. Yeah. That's why now you think about the things you think about. If you knew how powerful it was. There's a saying, if you knew how powerful your thoughts were, you would never have another negative thought.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Because you bring that to you.
Yeah.
But when I was recuperating, I was telling my then husband, who had caused the accident, I said, you won't believe what happened. And he said, what? And I said, I died. And I said, I saw all these things. He said, I don't want to hear it.
Oh.
I don't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it.
Really? What do you think that was about?
I think it was the guilt, because he was drunk at the time and then he caused the accident. I did die. And then when I came back and I said, you just listen to what's going on. Listen to what I went through. No, because that would remind him.
Oh, boy. So he had a lot of guilt around that.
He had a lot of guilt, yeah. And then I'm left with just me with this fantastic experience that I went through and talking to people I can't see. So I really developed a major conversation with my spirit guide, later on with my angel, and it went in order. Okay, so at the very beginning, I started speaking with my spirit guide, which we have different spirit guides throughout our lifetime.
Like they are different beings that come and like serve a role and then they're done and they go to the next.
Right.
Huh.
Now, spirit guides are people who have lived on the earth plane.
Okay.
So they've lived here, they've come back so many lifetimes, they've worked through all their karma, and then they get a choice. Do you want to come back or do you want to stay? And then before we come here, we choose who's going to help us.
Oh, cool.
So we get together and we say, you're going to help me at this time? Yes, I will. And then Unfortunately, we develop amnesia when we come back.
It's gone. I
It's
can't
gone.
remember a
I
thing.
can't remember. But they always let their presence be known, you know, in one way or the other. A lot of people say, well, I have a, I have a guardian angel around me. Well, you do probably. You know, most people do have guardian angels.
Yeah.
In fact, all people have guardian angels. But then your angels are there to protect you, you know, to keep you safe, you know, and to deliver loving messages or whatever it is that you need at the time. But your spirit guides are there to say, I need your guidance. What do you think I should do? Should I do this, this, or this? And spirit guides will never tell you what to do.
So often I'm like, just tell me what to do. But it's that co-creative choice that you have.
They will give you suggestions. They'll say, well, if you do it like this, then this might happen. If you do it like this, then this might happen. You know, or what do you want to do? And so a spirit guide will never tell you what to do. They've lived this human life. They know that we have choices that we have to make. So they're there to guide. So I went through all of this. I didn't have anybody to share it with. And it was a daily thing, talking to my spirit guide every day, you know, with a friend. Okay. No one knew about it. And then I switched and my angels came in.
And you could feel the different energy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Different vibration, total different vibration. So my angel came in. I'm like, oh, well, hello.
And you
Who
are
you? Yeah. So we started talking, and my spirit guide was still there, but I'm talking to my angel. Now, this is years apart, okay? And in the interim, I had learned from a good friend of mine to read the tarot.
Oh, cool.
And she said the tarot, of course, is just a tool to help bring out what you already know. So you're seeing it with your physical eyes. And I said, okay. So she got me a deck of cards, and I started to go through the tarot. When I was doing that, I noticed that I was giving people readings, but didn't know I was doing this. Because what happened was their guides, their angels were coming through. Their loved ones or friends who had passed on were coming through.
And so they're finding a way to communicate through what you're working on.
Right. And I didn't know. So I'd be sitting there looking at the cards, and I'd be saying, well, this, this, and this. And, you know, did you have, you know, a brother that passed away, or, you know, something like somebody's here.
Were you getting some intuition at the same time?
Yes, lots.
But you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Just saying.
I was clueless. I was just doing this. And I found out I can do this. So that actually led me to reading cards professionally. So I would call it a psychic tarot card reading because it was psychic and it was with the tarot. And I thought, all right, I'm doing this. But then everything started to build more and more, because the more you do this, the more you build that psychic muscle.
Yeah, you probably attune to that.
Sure you do. Yeah. And I think I did that for from 20 to maybe 23 years. All of these things that had progressed, from my guides to learning the cards to giving readings to the angels. And then about 6 years ago, I got a visit from my ET.
Oh, wow.
So this has not been going on forever.
So you went from guide to angel, now ET.
Right. Just the same order that happened before.
Oh, in your death. Sure.
Yeah. So I got a visit from my ET.
Wait a minute. You went from guide to angel to ET. That means God's next. Okay.
Oh my God, I never thought about that.
Okay. I'm starting to see the pattern.
Thanks for reminding me of that one.
Hopefully it's years down the road.
20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road, not a problem. I've been told I'm going to live really long.
Is that good or bad? You're like, okay.
It's good, actually. Yeah, I have lots more to do.
That's good. I love it.
So, my ETs came in, and how that happened was I'm driving in the car one day, and I just started to sing in this strange, beautiful language.
Yeah. Is that the same language I got to hear in Sedona? Okay, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Man, was that exciting.
So I started singing these melodies. I'm like, oh, this is really pretty. I really like this. This is cool. And then it stopped.
Mm.
And then I'm driving in my car again. They get me when I'm kind of captive here. Okay. Driving in my car again. And then I just started speaking. And I thought, well, I have no idea what I'm doing, but this is kind of cool. I'll just let it continue. Well, a couple of days later, what would happen is I would get something fantastic that would come into my life, or something that I needed or wanted. And I thought, well, this is cool. Maybe the speaking and what I got go together.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started saying, okay, who is this doing? Who's talking? Who is coming around? And that's when I got, I am, and I can't remember my first person's name. I'm sorry, but I am so-and-so, and I am your ET guide.
Cool. Wow.
And I said, okay. And they said, there's many of us here, but I am the collective. I speak for the collective. Because otherwise I would have a lot of voices, and people would think I'm really crazy. But it's the collective.
You mean crazier.
Crazier. The collective speaks. Oh, you got water on you? No. The collective speaks, and then one person is the spokesperson.
Okay.
So I said, all right, so what am I doing? And they said, well, what you're doing is you're sending up prayers. So these are prayers that you're sending up to the universe. And they're pure. It's what you need, what you desire, what you want. And then it comes to you.
Oh, wow. So I have to give presents to this.
Okay.
So I was in Sedona. We were filming her feature video. And she said, okay, you might think that this is a little bit different, but I want you just to be open and receptive. And she starts to speak in a language. In fact, I'm going to show you a little clip right here.
Kishorliha Hesevramakirun, but he shareuna Luma Kaymashu Shoriatila Nupo Bayum Satishi. That I am Moshoyaki Hemta Shioyate Mogaya Sikti or Nyashihai to Shu.
Okay, and so from that language, I said, I totally understand what that language is, because in that Christian paradigm that I lived in, we believed in speaking in tongues. I said, that sounds exactly like what it sounds like when I speak in tongues. And you were talking in a similar language. And I said, so I was taught that was a gift of the Holy Spirit that I was given. And you're like, no, that's your ET language, and you can communicate with your extraterrestrial guides. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was awesome. So all of this time, while I was given a religious paradigm, there was some validity to the fact that there's a language there.
Right.
That is incredible.
There is. But the religious part of it, it's like they want you to stay attached to a dogma. Okay, instead of just saying that this is what we do. In my first book I wrote, 2012, Coming Out of the Coma, this is one of the things that they were saying, because they gave me like a history of the world and how it evolved up until when I wrote the book. And they were saying that...
Well, you've got chapters called Awakenings. I love that.
Yeah. That we always had telepathic communication with the source. So when we came here, that's how we communed all the time. But then what happened was there were certain people that wanted to control that issue.
Yeah.
So they said, don't worry, we'll do it.
We'll do it for you.
Yeah. You just... live the life, have
dumb
fun,
and happy, you'll be fine.
Don't worry. Yeah. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
Until everything got covered over. Everything got covered over because we gave away our power.
Oh, wow.
We gave away that power. And that's what people are doing now. I'm helping them get rid of those layers and knowing that they have that within them to communicate with Source all by themselves. Yeah. Go figure.
So that speaking, that ability to create a language, How does someone get that or do, I was given to me in a religious context, I was asking to be blessed by the divine. How would someone who has a desire to communicate, how would they manifest that?
It comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there.
Mm.
In order to manifest it, I don't know how to explain it because I teach people how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier for me to teach you how to do it than to explain it.
Okay.
If you just know it's there,
Yep.
then we can tap into it.
Okay, good. So it's about acknowledging it and then tapping into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm sure there's exercise or there's work that you go to
yeah.
have someone find that space.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's already there. It's just been covered over.
Mm.
So,
Awesome.
We send up prayers or we send up thanks or whatever it is that we're sending, or we're speaking or we're asking for help or however it is. We're doing this
Mm-hmm.
with Source.
Hmm.
So we're connecting with Source.
Mm.
And the part about, well, you can't do this unless you're blessed in the
Mm-hmm.
church or unless you want this gift. When you were there and you said, okay, I want this gift, and they didn't give it to you. You had it.
It was already there.
That's right.
I just had to learn how to let it flow. That's really
right.
good. Yeah.
That's right. So that's what makes the difference.
Yeah.
If you could just remember that it's nothing outside of yourself. It's all in.
Mm-hmm.
It's all inside of yourself.
Yeah, that's a great overarching theme for many things.
Right.
That whole
Right.
spiritual concept is, always trying to look at something else or something that's
Outside.
separate when really it's all a part of us.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look at it like all the things that we are made of the stars. We're from the stars.
Yeah.
How it was explained to me is we are sparks off the Creator.
Beautiful.
So we just we stayed in the heavens, or we went to different planets, or we came here to experience. And that's what we do here on Earth. We have lots of experiences, good, bad, or indifferent, but we experience.
Yeah.
So when you see, the different ETs that come here, because they're all here, they walk around anyway, but they're coming to experience. Some vicariously.
Yeah.
But they come to experience because this is such an amazing place. I hear people say, oh, this is such a terrible place. It's so hard. And it's like, it's not. It's an amazing place.
It's how you frame it.
It is. It's not hard. It's not drudgery. It's amazing. And the things that we can do when we find out, because those are the people that I feel powerless.
Yeah.
So they're saying it's a terrible place to be in. But once you reclaim that power again, then you could see, oh my God, look what I can do. Look what I could do with my thoughts, with the power of my mind. Look what I can do with this.
Yeah. Vivian Chauvet taught me that the ETs see us as great beings of light.
Yeah.
And she says they don't see us as puny and wimpy and powerless. So we need to learn to take that authority.
Right. I remember somebody said this to me one time. I was looking up at some mountains, very beautiful, the Wallapai Mountains. And I'm going, oh my God, look how pretty those mountains are. And someone said to me, but do you know they're looking at you going, look how mighty you are?
Beautiful.
And I thought, no. I never thought that in my entire life.
Yeah.
But it is true. It's like we're the ones who are the strongest of the strong.
I love when you give presence to that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're the strongest of the strong.
The Green Beret that came down to this planet.
Yes. And, we don't remember it. So that's another thing that says we're strong and that we're fearless. We're going through this. We're living these experiences and we're getting a lot out of it. So we're learning lessons. Of course, there's lessons to be learned. So we learn these lessons lifetime after lifetime after lifetime with different people, and however we go through our experiences. But then when we get to the point where we're going, all right, now I've learned what I need to learn from other people, and what doesn't serve me anymore goes away.
Yeah.
Now what's left? It's you.
Yeah.
So now you're going, oh my God, look what I can do. Look what I can do.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets exciting.
Yeah. So there is information that I am interested in, star seed, star family. So you've talked about mission and you talked about purpose. Give some presence to that.
We have a purpose when we're here on this earth to maybe have children, to raise them, to do, send them off into the world to do what they're supposed to be doing. Or we have a purpose that we're here to be Mother Teresa and we're supposed to, have humanitarian, or we just have a presence about us.
Yeah.
Maybe we're someone that, can save someone who's downhearted.
Sure.
Whatever it is that we can do without giving a lot of ourselves, that's our purpose. Your purpose, you're sitting here and you're getting the word out about.
We're having fun, aren't we?
Yeah, you're getting the word out about a lot of different things that otherwise people wouldn't know about. So that's one of the things that we come here for. We aren't just blobs of flesh that walk around on the earth. We have purpose.
Yeah. I love that, because so many people think that, I was just born and it doesn't matter, and when I die it'll be lights out, and you're like, no, there's a reason. There's a reason.
Yeah. So we can equate purpose to reason. There's a reason you're here. And if it's to hold space for someone before they get there, or it's a myriad of different ways that we're here, but we're not just here to waste space.
I love it.
And that's the problem sometimes with people, because they don't feel that purpose. No one has to give you a purpose. You have to feel it. Remember, everything comes from inside.
Yeah.
So you feel that purpose, and it could just be keeping the sidewalk clean. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be some great big challenge. It could be something very small.
That's good.
Driving a bus full of kids,
important.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We have a purpose. And whether or not we like it, we're all connected to everybody.
Yep.
So if I need groceries, I have to go to the place that has groceries.
Yep.
That everything that we do, we have a purpose. So people are included in that. We're not an island. All right. So when you feel like you are just bobbing around in the water, it's because you don't know that you are a gift to the world.
It's beautiful.
And it can be a very, very small gift.
Yeah.
Those who have missions, see, I come upon people that come to me and goes, what am I supposed to be doing here? It's like, well, you got something that's going to be helping humanity, but in the last part of, the hard part. So maybe your mission is to help with, people who are being persecuted because they believe in the ETs. Maybe you're supposed to write a book and open people's eyes to it. Maybe, it's a mission. A purpose is something that you do. A mission is something that you're exacting. So
good.
it's just a little branch.
Yeah.
But because you have a mission doesn't mean you have a purpose. And because you have a purpose doesn't mean you don't have a mission.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that it's one is better than the other. Let me put it to you that way.
That makes
so
sense.
Star seeds are coming here with a mission. So they're the younger people that are being born and saying, yes, I will come here. And you know that when you're looking at them, they don't have a whole lot of past lives because they're pretty new. But they said, I'm coming down here because I'm going to be writing a computer program that turns water into wine. I mean, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But they're the ones who are going to be doing something. And then that's it. So they go and live their life. That's their mission.
That's good. So in your work, you've developed these beautiful cards, the ET communication card, ET cards?
ET message cards,
ET message cards. And you've got all these beautiful different pictures that you put on here. We had some of those in the feature video. And when I met with you, you had me draw some cards. And you had me draw this card here, and it talks about silence. You had me draw this card here, and it talked about protection.
Right.
And this card here and this talked about accepting. This card here, this was a card that talked about wisdom, and then this was really cool. You gave me, told me that the card I drew was the Elohim card, which meant spiritual guidance. When you are talking with people and you're giving presents, and I'd like to think that these weren't just random, they were kind of like messages. How do you incorporate the cards and messages with people?
When you draw the cards, you know, it's just like the tarot. You're drawing it from your own inner wisdom. So you're drawing the cards. This is a message for you from the ETs. And when I get these, then they start talking to me. And then I say, okay, this is what's going on here.
Yeah.
You're going to have this, this, and this coming into you. So it doesn't just mean you have angel blessings with the Elohim. It means you have a lot of people around you, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be doing this, this, and this. If you just let go and let spirit or let your ET, star family help you, then things are going to be changing, but you know that you're going to be protected. Mm-hmm. So the protection, the unseen power is from the guardians. They're from the warriors. The Elohim are protectors also. So you have all of these things that you're doing, but to not throw your pearls before swine.
Yeah.
So silence is golden. Silence is powerful. Also. So the people who are watching your segments are watching it because they're interested. So you're giving valuable information. Other people aren't going to be interested, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
But they give me more information when I'm looking at the cards.
Oh, it's incredible. Reach out to Cassandra. You can do this over the phone or over the Skype.
Right.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Or in person.
Yeah, or you can do it in person. That's wonderful. So you have created and developed this card, and it comes with a book.
Yes.
And so people can actually get this and use that as a form of work or giftings for themselves.
Sure. They're message cards, so they're from the ETs. Whether these are any part of your star family or not, doesn't matter. It's from your ET, so they're going to get you a message one way or the other.
Yeah.
If it's through cards, great. If it's through getting a reading, wonderful. If it's through getting a picture drawn of them, that's even better, because then you can connect to them. So however you want to do it, it doesn't matter. They're going to get their message because you're seeking. So they just don't do this to just anyone. Oh. It's the people who are seeking and searching and saying, I know there's something different. I know there's something out there. I don't feel like this is my home. And I have a lot of people say that. I don't feel this is my home. I don't, I'm looking at it like, ugh, this is so foreign, and I don't want this to be my home. I've had a lot of people say that to me.
Now, when you got here today, you were talking with Sweet Lady Gail before we started this episode.
Right.
Sweet Lady Gail, would you like to come on camera and talk about your thing?
Sure.
Great. So if that's cool with you guys, we're going to have her on camera. Okay, so we've got Sweet Lady Gail on set, and she's beautiful, I know. So give presence to some of the feelings that you've had and some of the working that you've been working through.
I have been having these different feelings in my meditation where I don't understand them. So I thought, out of curiosity, why not ask?
Yeah.
You never know. And so what I did is I shared with her how I have this longing for home sometimes, and it's so deep within me, I just start crying uncontrollably. And it takes me quite a while sometimes to pull out of it. Sometimes I need to go ground under the tree, just to kind of come back to earth, because I have such this deep, deep longing for home and not understanding why I have those feelings. And so I shared that with Cassandra. And so she was able to kind of help me through some of that stuff. and also through pulling some of her cards.
And so you said that not necessarily her feeling of not being here wasn't necessarily her.
Right.
It was possibly the ET that she's working with.
Right.
Give presence to that.
Yeah. I could feel the separation. It's like, this is not coming from you, because you were confused about it, but you were feeling emotions that this ET was saying, I don't want to be here. Why am I here?
Yeah, it was like feelings of like
Longing.
the big sister
Yeah.
was making the little sister go do something that they didn't want to do.
Right.
It was like that kind of a feeling or energy. I don't know if that's the story, but that's just like the feeling that kind of resonated with.
Right. Once you learn that it has nothing to do with you, and you could see past those emotions, and that's the part that I told you. If you see past the emotions, then you can get to the bottom of it. You can get to the real part of it.
This card.
Yeah.
Seeing past the emotions. Because we as human beings, we have these emotions. You know, I'm not saying ETs don't have emotions, but they aren't as, they like to live vicariously through us too, you know, laughter and everything else. But you're feeling that longing, and that longing transferred to you out of the human emotion.
Okay.
Because you're going, where is this coming from? I don't understand this.
Yeah, but it's so deep.
Yeah. So it's deep within you. So
Okay.
that's that part of us, that everything is in us. Everything is inside us.
Okay.
So when you were feeling that, it's like it's something triggered it, and you're going, oh no, I don't want to be here. What's going on?
That's what I felt like, and I'm like, this isn't me.
And then that
But
naturally
the emotion was so strong, and poor Dave
naturally
had to,
freaks me out, because I'm like, what do you mean I don't want to be here? Are you going to die? I don't really want you to die. So I don't know what's going on.
And I'm like, no, that's not the case, honestly. But I didn't know how to explain it.
Right. So when you are aware of it, because that's what you became aware of, today or maybe before, but when you become aware of this is not you, then the fun begins.
Okay.
Remember when I said it's fun to be here?
Yes.
I mean, we have a lot of burdens, we have some struggles, we have all that. But when we know that we have people around us, unseen helpers, we have all these people that are helping us, we're not alone. And if we're not alone, then we have protection, so let's have some fun here. And that's where this card came into play. To have fun.
Yeah.
So I feel that what you're doing now, again, you had shared that your the things that aren't serving you are going away now. And that's for a reason. Because now you get to immerse yourself in what's coming up. So you don't have all of this 3D thing. You know, you go into work every day and, you know, you come home, by the time you get done, you're tired and, you know, the whole thing. I feel that you're going to really start learning, because you drew the card of the 3 wallows, which is about teaching.
Oh, yeah.
Teachers.
Yes. Yeah, do the big one.
That's
Yeah.
these guys.
So they're teachers, and they're teaching whoever wants to learn. So you don't go to school, you're not enrolled in school because you don't want to. You're going, oh, okay, well, let me learn about this. So I don't have the confusion, I don't have the sadness, I don't have this or that. And I can work with it, and I can see what's coming up, because you're gaining new skills. So when you're gaining new skills and you have new beginnings, then you know that something new is happening. So something woke in you, and you were trying to figure out the specific cause or purpose. And when you do that, you know that, you know, life's going to be fun now. It's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. And then you had the negotiator, who is Queen Charlemagne. She's the ambassador. She's an ambassador to the Federation. So she's someone who can go there and say, hey, we need this or this or this to happen. And these people cannot do this, or these people can do this. She's a very powerful ally to have on your side. So when she's with you, you know that she's going to come through and help you.
Okay. So some of these feelings of another presence are coming through could actually be her, along with whoever else
Correct.
is there assigned to help me through whatever it is that needs to happen.
Right.
Okay.
So you just call upon her. Just Queen Charlemagne, I need your help.
Okay.
Make this an easy transition. Make this fun. Make this to where I understand it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because sometimes we think we have to know it all. We don't have to know it all right now.
Right.
We just have to know that we're protected. Because otherwise we'll be going, well, I don't know about this, I don't know about this or this. And while you're doing that, all you're doing is saying you don't know something.
Right.
So in the meantime, you could be utilizing that and saying, okay, well then show me. Show me what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
That's
Beautiful.
good.
You don't mind sticking around for a little bit, do you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
Are you
good.
kidding?
Well, hold that for me.
Okay.
So you've got these beautiful pieces of art. I know that you are a prolific artist. And talk about the pieces that you have here and maybe some of the significance. Because these are what you create your cards from, is that correct? Yeah, these are beautiful.
Yeah. Once I first started to trust my ETs, my ET guides, I'm driving home one day, again in the car, and they said, you need to start to draw us. I said, all right. So I actually had to go to some place and buy art supplies because I had nothing. So I did go, I went to a store, I bought some oil pastels, got some paper, and then started drawing. And these are the things that came out before I started drawing for other people. So it's like a portrait. These people would come in, I'd sit down and I'd start drawing. I had no clue what I was going to draw. But while I was drawing it, I would get information. So these are the butterfly people.
Oh, wow.
So wait. I got to go back.
Yeah.
You draw for people.
They're star families.
They're star families.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I was just checking. Okay.
Yeah. So if they want to know what their star families look like, then I'll channel it and I'll draw and give that to them, because sometimes they need to have that focal point.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So a star family. Okay. So we all have star families.
Yes.
Right. So it's part of my star family that's coming down to communicate with me. That's who it would be. It wouldn't be somebody else's.
Correct. It's yours.
Part of my family.
Right.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So the butterfly people came through. They, told me about their main goal is there's beauty in color.
Oh.
So if somebody gets this, it's like you really need to help your follow your chakra colors. Get this beauty. Get it rolling, because when you have that color around you, it naturally lifts you up.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So the butterfly people came through. I really liked drawing them because they're very, very colorful, obviously. This one is the Draco. And I drew this while I was on vacation.
Take the book so you can see them.
And I thought, well, I'm going to draw something because I feel someone coming through. And I was drawing this, and the Draco is not a reptilian. Now, I have to preface that there are good people and there are not such good people, and there are good ETs and not such good ETs.
Okay.
So I only work with benevolent ETs. Only the good can come through. So when this person came through, I thought, oh, you kind of look like a reptilian. But he said, I'm a Draco. And this Draco is someone to have on your side. So he's very much a protector. And he just, all he has to do is look at you, and then you know that you're being protected by the Draco. So when I was coming here today, I thought, okay, who am I going to bring? And these are the ones that said, bring us along.
Oh,
I
nice.
love
But
it.
the interesting part too is I've had people look at these and say, I've seen this being. They've actually seen them with their own eyes, which really helps me because
Right.
it gives me,
Like
you know,
the
some
validation.
confirmation. Yeah.
You're like, really? Okay,
Yes.
cool. I'm on the right
Really?
path.
You've seen this
I
being?
think we all look for that
yeah.
because we're like, okay, are we crazy
Yeah.
or are we right on track?
You've really seen this?
Yeah.
That means that I'm not just, I tell people, I don't have as good of imagination. I can't just sit there and draw something up like this.
Mm.
I mean, seriously, I can't.
Wow. That's
So
incredible.
all the things that they give me, I will just sit there and they'll say, draw us. And I said, okay. But now I drew probably 30 to 40 of these before
Wow.
someone said, would you draw my star family? And I said, well, I think I can.
Cool.
So then
Nice.
now I start drawing for other people. I draw their
Yeah.
star families. So
So do you find a commonality amongst, like, after you've done so many of these, like, oh, this is the same family that's coming
No.
across? No?
no,
Really?
I have never gotten the same star family. They're all
Interesting.
different. That's why when I'm drawing it, it's like, oh, this is fun because I don't know
Yeah.
what's going to come out. But I actually had that question asked of me yesterday. How do you have a certain specific family that comes through all the time? And they use like the words that people know, like Palladians and you know, they,
Syrians and
Yeah.
Arcturians, yeah.
so people know those. And I said, really, honestly, no, I don't. I get anyone and everyone else, but I don't get a specific family that comes through because there's a vast array of beings there.
Yeah.
They live in different galaxies, in different dimensions, different star systems. And they come through, and when I'm drawing them, they tell me where they're from. And then I'll give the client, you know, it's like, here's your picture, and I'll give them a little blurb about what they said. And they'll look at it and they'll go, really, I've never heard of that.
Interesting.
My favorite saying is, not everything is on Google.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, just because you can't find it on Google. They actually say, I Googled it,
Yeah.
and there's nothing there.
Mm.
Okay.
You
Right.
check the universal Google.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to go to the universal one.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong Google.
Yeah.
You're on the Earth Google.
That's a good one. I'll change that one.
You're on the Earth Google. That's the problem.
And then the 3 wallows. I drew this one because they wanted to show me something, and I didn't get what they wanted to show me until the last minute. So I see the 3 teachers here. 3 wallows mean 3 teachers. And then there's another shadow right here. And they said this shadow is the student that wants to come and learn with us.
Wow.
So it's just waiting, that shadow, for whoever wants to come work with them, they're there.
Mm.
And I thought, oh, well, I could make that up in 1,000 years. That was really cool.
That's
cool.
very cool.
That's cool.
So that's how I know that they're talking through me.
Yeah. Wow. Very, very neat.
So you've got a couple other books that you've got here. You've got Messages from Extraterrestrial Cards. That's the companion to the cards.
Yes.
And then you've got Star Family Messages, A Mission of Exchange.
Yes.
Give presence to your material here.
Star Family Messages, A Mission of Exchange is all about, there's 5 chapters in here, and the first chapter is exchange of question and answers. So people had sent me questions, and then I'd channel it from the ETs, and they'd give the answers to those. So common questions, you know, they people always ask common questions right at first. Believe it or not,
eat?
Yeah.
that's I actually have had people say,
Yeah.
what do they eat?
Yeah.
Where do they look?
Do aliens
What
have to go to the bathroom?
what do they look like? You know, how do you definitely how do you eat, and what happens when you die, and you know, all these things. So I have just a compilation of some of the questions and answers,
Do you
a
have
Q&A.
good questions and then dumb questions in there? Or?
Well, I don't really think there's any dumb questions.
Oh, believe me, I could come up with a lot of dumb questions.
Okay. Only you. So someone's asking me questions. They're paying me for these sessions. They
Yeah.
want to get.
They want real answers.
It's a real
Yeah,
question.
I understand.
Okay. So I'll make you pay twice
Yeah.
if you're going to ask questions because I know
won't.
they're going to be stupid. Anyway.
Stupid tax.
This is the Q&A, and then they have exchange of thoughts. So they're letting you know how they feel about certain things. Exchange of images, which I have the pictures in there. Not all of them, but I have some of them in there. And then exchange of healing. So they show examples of how they've healed. And I heal people too through tonal vibration.
Okay.
So that's another thing that they gave me was tonal vibrations.
Nice.
And then exchange of communication, which is the language and samples of the language and also symbols, that people may wake up with. You have a little tattoo here, a little, you see a symbol somewhere. I actually had some lady say, hi baby.
Leo the pug.
I've seen these symbols and they were on a fence.
Oh.
And then I was going to go out there and take a picture of them and they disappeared.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
So I said, okay, but not all of them. I put some in here that they wanted me to. These are very simple.
So I am just so curious. I
Uh-huh.
got to take care. Okay, so here's the symbols. Okay. Because there was a time when I was asking for symbols.
Mhm.
I felt like I was
Yeah.
going into something that was a deep introspective type work,
Mhm.
a lot of shadow work, alchemy work, and I was asking for symbols to kind of take me through, and I couldn't make heads or tails of some of them.
Right.
But I do remember dots.
Yes. Dots are a common,
Yeah.
they're very common.
And then I had gotten spirals. If you look in my journal, this
Mhm.
is in my journal a lot.
I'm not surprised.
This one right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, now this is what I need. I need this confirmation.
So, I have my journal over there. So yeah, the dots and that. So, and a lot of spirally type stuff. I usually get a lot of spirally stuff.
Like a vortex type of
Yeah.
spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You are fascinating.
You are.
All kinds of fun things in my journals, right?
I'm gonna have to look through those things.
Oh.
And the messages from the extraterrestrial cards it's just a companion book. You don't need the book for the cards, but it just gives you more information about the star family and, a message from them. So on the cards, you just have one message, like this is what this is about. This just gives more in detail.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's awesome. Wow. Your website, CassandraVanzant.com.
Yeah.
You can reach out. She has a space in Sedona if you want to drive to Sedona. It's a beautiful place, and you can make a personal meeting with Cassandra. You do meetings over the phone and Skype, etc.
Over the phone and
Yeah.
Skype, yeah. You can go to my website, and it has everything on there that I do, from readings to portraits to star family messages, everything. So you can just look it over, see which one you want, order right there. It's very easy. Or give me a call, and we could discuss it.
Awesome. We are so glad you're here and honored. Thank you for sharing your gifts
you're
with us.
welcome.
We like to end the episode. You want to do it? You want to tell her how we end the episode?
Yes, we like to end the episode by our guest telling the audience the one takeaway that you would want the audience to have from this whole entire show. What's the one thing that you want to get across to the audience?
I would say the one takeaway would be, don't be afraid. Reach out when you feel that stirring. Stop looking without and start looking within. So know that there's a reason that you're interested in this. It's not because you're curious, but once you say, okay, fine, I'm going to do something about it, don't be afraid. because fear is what keeps us in this mundane experience. We're afraid we're going to lose our house. We're afraid we're going to lose our car because we have to work, we have to do this. And that fear is the thing that will keep you from living.
Very good.
Awesome.
Very good.
Cassandra, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Thanks for
you're
sharing
welcome.
your work. Reach out to her. You're incredible.
Thank
and
you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Namaste. I'm David Marsh, and you've been watching Exploring the Human Journey on YouTube as a video and listening as a podcast. If you would like to help continue the conversation, please consider supporting us by visiting patreon.com, where you can support us on a monthly basis and get extra bonus content. For as little as $1 a month, you can make this show sustainable and help continue spiritual consciousness. You can also help by following us on Facebook and Instagram. For more information about the show, find us online at exploringthehumanjourney.com.